and we set it up, and he came up for like a week and a half.
Okay.
And it was the most like magical studio session I have ever been a part of. This music doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. It's not like, you can't even define exactly what it is.
They tease them a lot, black peas on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back. 40.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I go by the name BlackPegasus, and I have the one and only, the overlord of independent rap, hip hop, Chris Webby in the building. What's up, fam?
Chilling.
Hey, man. Good seeing you again.
Always a pleasure.
Rocking with us out here in Colorado. So we're going to do the interview right here with the baby, car seats in the back, all that, because this is dad life 100% of the time. But I really wanted to dive into the music and what you're doing, especially after the last Wednesday, everything going down with that. Also, give you your flowers right here on camera on the channel, because I'm a super fan of the Raw Thoughts series. And I know that's kind of like a one-off, like it's just like here and there. But there's something about those that spoke to me the most, and I like a lot of the music. I'm not gonna front. I didn't grow like I got exposed to you when you went on tour with Tech Nine, because I had been touring with Tech Nine in my early careers, and so he was bro, and I was like, oh, who's Chris Webby? And then I started peeping your stuff. I was like, oh,
that was a while ago. That was 10 years ago. Still,
yeah,
though,
yeah. But I wasn't there at the inception, so then I got more put on game. So, anyways, What's going on with, after last Wednesday, and what do you have in the works for us?
Well, there was a little time period after that of trying to figure out my identity. It was like winter in Connecticut, and I felt like, it was just snowing outside. I was playing a video game, doing some horse fertilizer, we'll just call it, and just trying to figure it out, like on some like, who am I? And
it's like I went down the hole.
But I think I kind of needed that. Needed that because the Wednesday series was 8 years of my life. It's like I knew the path forward every single year. There was this strict regimen I had to follow. Song every 2 weeks. It was really good to have done it, but it also needed to end. I needed to like move on and just kind of creatively explore some new places. So in February, I went down to Miami and did an EP with Scott Storch.
Yep.
So that's going to be cool. That should be ready. I think I got the mixes and masters like in my phone now. So I got to give them a listen when I get home. But
I was going to ask you about that because I was watching your interview with Echo, and I was like, that's right, because I forgot you posted, and he's on the piano. He's a pianist genius. And that's what's funny, too. On this channel, I do a lot of classic reactions, and I think people that, watch the reactions are older, and they really sleep on what producers do in hip-hop. Like the dudes like Scott Storch.
Yeah, Scott Storch
he's like a Bruce Hornsby, where it's just like...
He's unbelievable.
So, do you guys have a name for the project? What's the direction of it? Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
Is it like party shit? Is it lyrical shit? Is it a culmination?
It's both of those things. It's very early 2000s.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to bring out those Storch melodies from that era where he was the dominant force. So it's what you would hope it to be.
Okay.
Like that's what I was really aiming to make it, and it's called 88 milligrams.
All right.
Because there's 88 keys on a piano,
okay,
and
okay.
I had my Adderall down there.
Hey.
Actually, the cover is my Adderall scattered across his
really?
piano keys.
Okay,
yeah.
got you.
So it's completely unhinged. Definitely drug oriented in a lot of ways, but it's fun, and it's maybe take a couple shots at a couple,
Okay, so we're gonna have some excitement coming out the gates with that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. Nice little quick 6-song project. I'm unhinged in my own way. I'm like a crazy little Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? on a bunch of with some pharmaceutical energy. And I'm just my brain is nuts. I think my fans know that. It even plays into the Raw Thoughts and everything. It's just like it's a wild place in my skull, pretty much. So it's a cool project, man. I'm excited about it. It'll be nice to get something back out, and then follow that with the project with REN.
let's get into REN. But before we get into REN, I'm excited because I'm just like, I thought it was incredible because knowing your background, knowing your background, indie artist, I believe you bought back your masters, right?
For the one project that I did through. Yep.
And it's just incredible to be an independent artist and be like, yo, I'm working with Scott Storch. Like that's so, because I'm from, bro, I'm just thinking about Lean Back. I'm thinking about freaking Still DRE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm thinking about that sound with fucking Chris Webby. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
And we're in this unique time and space where sometimes someone will put out a record and they'll be like, that sounds 2000s. But then sometimes you'll put it out and they'll be like, this is what I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in some
early 2000s was fire. And I mean, this is authentic.
Yeah.
This is with Scott Storch. I mean, I grew up learning from that era and he grew up making the sounds of it. So but it's not like it sounds completely from that time without any sort of
it's your modern
2025 upgrades. There's definitely a now feeling to it.
And you hear that with people like Griselda. Like they're giving us this like Mobb Deep feel almost, but it's like now we get that a little bit with Coast Contra. And so like I see what you're saying, and that's why I'm excited about it. And also, your style is very unique because your voice is very unique. Like, you'll hear people like, oh, that dude sounds like Biggie or Ross or whatever, but you have a very unique voice, so I appreciate that, and I'm excited for it. But yes, a lot of people been asking, this whole collaboration with REN that you just mentioned that popped up. Now, on my channel, I have a really big audience for REN. I discovered REN on a live stream. Someone was like, yo, check this out. Check out High REN. And after that, I went on these deep dives, and I was so compelled by the High REN joint that I started putting people on to that one joint. I think it's super cool that you connected. I guess my first question is, how did you guys even meet? How did you connect? Like, was REN familiar with you? Were you familiar with him? Were y'all both familiar? Like, what the hell's going on?
So basically, it was when Raw Thoughts 6 came out. He commented on, I think it was my Instagram post, and my girlfriend said, did you see, like, REN commented on your video?
Okay.
And I was like, who's that? I don't know who that is. She's like, oh, he's so dope. You got to check him out. Like, she's been listening to him for years.
Okay.
So I went on, I listened to High REN. That seemed like the kind of gateway. And I'm like, wow, this is dope. This is very, like, dramatic and artistic and well put together, well written, all that, obviously. And then my girlfriend was like, no, you got to check his busking shit out. And then I was like, whoa. Because to see him with the guitar singing how he sings, that, in my head, I was just like, oh, okay, this guy's a Swiss Army knife and a half.
Yeah, that was the gateway. So I watched High REN, and I was like, yo, this just means a lot in general. There's so many different aspects to that. But when I saw him do the, he did a Bob Marley joint with busking with his boys, The Big Push.
Yep.
But then when I seen he actually be rapping for real, like rapping, I was like, yo, so I just went down
He does it all at, like, the highest level. It's unbelievable. This guy is insane. But so anyways, I'm just getting familiar with it over here, and I reached back out. I was like, thanks, man. Like, you're dope. I'm just getting hip right now. And I had just so happened to have just recorded that song Baggage that he ended up getting on. And it just was kind of serendipitous. And I was like, you know what? Let me shoot this over to him. Let's see what he does with it. And then he immediately locked right in on it. Gave me back such a fire feature. We were like talking about it, like, and the way he approaches music is very similar to me. He's like in the song, like inside of it, looking at the parts of it from, so immediately I was like, oh, okay, this guy, we speak the same language, so cool. Song is awesome. We're like, we got to shoot a video. So he comes out, we shoot the video. My probably favorite video I've ever done. I love that video for Baggage. But then it was about the few days afterwards that he had before they left. And it was like, well, let's just like catch a vibe, see what happens. That Catch a Vibe turned into like 3 songs. And it was just like, whoa, like this is crazy. just the way we were playing off of each other, me, him, and my producer JP. It was like this triangle of understanding and like this frenetic creative energy that just kept bouncing between all of us, everyone playing their own roles, and it just started to grow. And then obviously they had to leave, so it was like, we got to make a whole project, and we got to get back to this. But I had to finish last Wednesday. He was working, you know, it wasn't the right time. Then he had to go in for treatment for the health stuff he was going through for a while. And when he finished that down in Mexico, just so happened to line up with me being right at home, ready to rock. And we set it up, and he came up for like a week and a half.
Okay.
And it was the most like magical studio session I have ever been a part of. Me, him, JP, his guys. It was so much fun. And what's cool about it is, this music doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. It's not like, you can't even define exactly what it is. It's not just Ren and Chris Webby. It's called Inpatient.
Okay.
So that's like the band.
So that's you two together, or is that going to be the name of the project?
Yeah. No, that's us two together, plus JP.
Okay, got you.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like...
Inpatient, I like that.
And then the album's called Asylum. So it's got that as like an undertone, kind of just like unwellness to an extent. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a lot of things. It's got bangers, it's got ballads, it's got stories. It has moments where it's just like, it's so artistic. I mean, we were pushing each other in so many different ways. No egos in the room, and just totally like everyone chiming in, be like, maybe you like, and then it was amazing, man. It was amazing.
This is so exciting. And so you said something, and I just want to highlight it, because in this interview, we were talking about your time with Scott Storch, right? And then we're talking about Ren, and you're like, yo, this is just like the craziest thing that's happened. So these are two very highlightable, crazy moments working with producers.
And with Storch, we got like a little documentary shot of him making every beat.
Oh, really?
Which is like,
when's that gonna drop?
That's gonna drop with the EP.
With the fire. Oh, okay. So I'll cover this stuff on my channel, but I just think it's really dope to see you get like excited, like, yo, oh yeah, I'm doing it, because like, after last Wednesday, I was like, oh, where's he going to go? And then right now, I know you might not have the direct, because everything you're saying seems like you're like, yo, I'm just doing. Yeah. So there's not like, hey, there's this direction, we're going to start this, you know? And I love that free flow state. But with the REN collaboration, it's so unique to see how you guys linked up together. Also, the similarities, because I know you both take authenticity super serious. Like, this is like what... I saw your interview with Echo and how you were talking about being misunderstood. And I totally got it, because people are taking surface levels. Also, sometimes your controversial stuff might have more impact than the whole body of work. And so without taking in the whole body of work, it's hard to understand exactly like, who is Chris Webby, which he's a complex person. He's a human being, which Ren always says that too. He's always like, I'm a clumsy human being. And I think that's one of the best ways to describe all of us. And like doing the interview because I've done an interview with Ren, talked to him a little bit, like DMs here and there. He's just a cool person. You're a cool person. I just think it's really dope to see two creatives come together and then push each other. Because I don't know what his process is like, but I personally, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say there's an impact of having a writer who writes raps at the level you do in the room with a writer that writes raps at the level he does. Because you don't always get, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, I mean, you're around a lot of rappers. I don't know how many rappers he's around, what he's working on, etc. But I just think there's an impactful thing there, and it probably
it's not a competition feeling at all. Yeah. It's just about like what's gonna make this song as sick as possible. And there's a lot of trust between us creatively. And that goes for JP too. Like
and shout out to JP, because I know Ren produces a little, so he's probably putting input.
Oh yeah,
and they're probably vibing.
Stuff. We had a drum set in the studio in my house. Like we had a whole thing going. And we also see the world through a similar lens. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like you said, authenticity. not caring about money. You know, it's like, of course you need money, but like also understanding how money just kind of corrupts everything from, you know, a person's heart to just the creative brilliance of a project. You know, when you make money the driver of it, it spoils it. So it's like we don't answer to anyone. We have no master. We have no handler. We don't give a shit about what people think about us. Yeah. And we are both like two apex creatives that understand each other. Because that wouldn't always work. Just taking two people who are really good at making music and having them make a project together. Yeah. It wouldn't always garner like this incredible result. But because the way we work is something, man. I can't even explain it. It was so fun. And the fact that it's Inpatient instead of like Ren or Chris Webby allows us to approach it with, I was saying it when we were in there, like a childlike curiosity, you know, where we're trying things that we wouldn't have tried if it was Ren working on a Ren song or Chris Webby working on a Chris Webby song. So it's, and because of that, we got some like weird shit that's so fucking cool. Yeah. And we took risks, and I couldn't be more excited about it. You know, I went from not knowing what the hell what was next to like I couldn't be more excited about what's next.
And so this is an album, not an EP.
Whole album, 13 tracks.
So this is what's crazy. It's like when you tell me this, we're like, okay, we have this EP with Scott Storch. We know the sound is going to give us this 2000s type of vibration with ill lyricism. But then when you just throw the curveball, like, yo, I did some shit with Ren. I don't know what it is. It's fucking super exciting. It's wild. It's genius. It's creative. I'm like, this is just like, you're hitting them for real. So that's awesome. Now, with that being said, you know, being behind the scenes a little bit, I know you're about, how many days are we from you flying to the UK while we're doing this interview to go do, because you guys are doing.
Day after tomorrow.
So
day
2
after
days.
Tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm flying out there to do some videos. He's coming back to Connecticut in like September to shoot the rest of the videos, because we want to have like a strong visual rollout for all of it, basically. And we want to get it out soon. Well, so it's like, you know, as long as he gets really excitable and stuff, I'm more like the sometimes when it's me and him, I'm more like the chaperone. Sometimes I'm like, this is a great idea, but let's think, you know, and I'm like really on top of making lists and stuff like that. That's like
and organizing.
I'm like the organizer. Yeah, for sure. Which is important. You need to have that element, especially when everyone else in the room is just like just going like creative, free flow. And I was doing that too, but then sometimes needing to sit down and be like, okay, hold up, list. What needs to be done on this song? This song. But yeah, I mean, in theory, I'm down to get it out as soon as it's ready, as long as we don't rush it, you know?
So it's going to be interesting seeing what you guys come up with visually, because that is one of the things I noticed about you and Ren. You push the envelope with your videos, and sometimes in different ways, because I noticed he'll focus a lot of times on this live performance with Hi Ren, Jenny, and Screech, and you'll push it on like these movie, you know, we're walking through the end of the world, apocalypse type stuff, and make it all mesh. So to bring both of your visual styles together, I'm excited to see how that pans out as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, there's a lot going on, and I'm excited to see that. After you guys do that, or you have anything else you're thinking about? Where do you want to go, like solo? Or you're just like, hey, I need to kind of...
I mean, this has got my hands full for the moment. I have a title for a solo, like real album probably for next year. But I mean, again, me and Ren are already kicking around ideas of a part 2 for this other one, because we had so much fun doing it. But I mean, it's like one thing at a time.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. When are we getting the...
Or 5 things at a time, but you know, there is a limit though.
In this industry, yeah. When are we getting the Chris Webby conspiracy theory podcast?
Oh man, you know, I don't think that would help me. I don't think that would help me in my life. I get in enough trouble. I mean, recently I've been, my main thing's been speaking out against this spraying of dicot they're doing in Connecticut to kill this invasive weed, which I just don't think is a good idea. And I don't think that the way they went about it was very transparent. And I've been kind of the face of, and the voice of, Connecticut's sentiment of like no one really wants this, and feels like there wasn't enough of a discussion had, yet they've moved forward. And I mean, Diquat's a pretty nasty chemical. They're saying it can be safe in the dosages they're using, but it's like, you know, how many times we got to hear this?
Yeah.
And then on the back end, get apologized to.
Yeah. I actually wanted to end with this conversation because I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you guys got to move and shake, but I thought that was important because the environment's important to me. And I know it's complex when we talk about that because we'll have some people go off on the climate change stuff, and I think that's a complex conversation. It's not as simple as just, use an electric car and all this other stuff, but when it comes to the fundamentals, yes, the fundamentals, we don't need oil spills, we don't need to be littering, we don't need to be spraying lakes and rivers with, because it seems like we're trying to play God.
If we do need to be spraying rivers and lakes, I need to know that every other option has been fully exhausted.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, they're saying that this aquatic weed is like, it's this huge threat. It's just like, and I'm not saying it's not, but I have looked up, obviously, the alternatives. And, I mean, there's even alternative chemicals.
Yeah.
So, it just seems like it's rushed. And, I've been going in over here, man. I'm taking it.
You're the face of getting the word out because I didn't even know about that. I didn't know they spray rivers, bro. I know about cloud seeding. I know about the color dyes. I know about all that stuff, and I know, like I was telling you before, like I had to go take my daughter to get stem cells in Panama for her arthritis. I understand a lot of stuff that's going on. But it's just like, bro,
dude,
like
it's
always something.
By seeing them do this in Texas at a place called Lake Caddo, and this guy made an Instagram about it, and there's dead turtles, and it's like it's awful. And I did a little detective work and was wondering if they were going to do it in Connecticut, and then sure enough, it was like, yeah, they have it planned for after the 4th, and I was like, oh shit! And then I went and did a bunch of research about the chemical, about this, about that, and sure enough, it resonated like a motherfucker because no one really knew this was going on.
Yeah.
And they're saying, like, we had 2 town halls or 3 town halls. It's like, bro, no one knew.
And that's how they do it. That's how they get away with it.
Of course. So legally,
it's very
they
overt.
Told people. They told all 12 people that were at, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know how these people get down. And I think that we also have reached a point where we are very sick of being lied to and told to trust the experts. I think that has led us down a lot of wrong paths, and I think people have had enough of that. I'm not saying that every expert should be discredited. Yep. I'm saying we should not blindly trust them, especially when they work for the government.
Yep.
So, it's been a whole thing, and I mean, from the governor on down, like I'm listing everybody who's got fingerprints on this thing, and I think it's important for people to remember. As much as we get caught up in the, Trump this, Biden that, over all these years, it's like we can't really do anything about those things. We can talk about them, but we can't really ultimately do much. But if you focus on local politics, local problems, like protect your communities.
Yeah.
Because that is within reach.
And I think an important highlight, just to add to that, is creating a community where you guys can work together and become stronger, because that community voice is ultimately what's going to create the change. And it starts with whoever's willing to be vocal.
We
learned that in 2020.
You need leaders, and you need people who are brave.
Absolutely.
It's like you really got to think like, how did this country start?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys, this is Car Seat Chronicles. Y'all get the baby car seats and everything because it's dad life all day, every day. But we're in here with the one and only Chris Webby. He has a lot of cool stuff on the way. Please jump over to his YouTube, his Instagram, tap in. And if you're curious about what's going on with them spraying the water, make sure you tap in, because these are things. We had a great conversation. I love the music. We need the music to live, thrive, and push us forward, but we also need an environment to do that. So I think it's very important, the things he says. Shout out to Ren for being the homie. Hope you're getting better. I know after the stem cells, it was kind of slow, but in my lived experience, stem cells are going to take 6-9 months to really kick in. So continue on your health journey, and I hope you guys are safe on your travels to the UK and have an excellent time.
Absolutely.
My man, thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Much love.
Catch you next time.